Bless my heart.
Jim's last presentation.
Sad react. Okay. Hey, everyone. All right. So today we're going to be talking about ElastAlert and Elasticsearch, some applications of those in security. I'm Jim. I am kind of a fifth year. I do a lot of red team stuff, and this is going to talk about that a little bit. I wrote a few of those challenges. If anyone recognizes those, you can come shit post to me about them later. Yeah, or why wait? Do it now. You're right, Dan. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about, like, all DevOps people love this, right? This is, like, without a doubt, the coolest part of any enterprise, and that's logs. Like, they're just great. Like, look at this. They're easy to read. They're beautiful. No, logs suck, right? So they have tons of cool information. Like, great. You can see statuses of any service, any like tool that you're running is going to be outputting tons of useful logs. But the problem is that it's really hard to do anything useful with that information at scale. Like, if you have 20 web servers, you can't be going in and catting var log every single day. Like, that's not sustainable. You're not going to get any good information. It won't provide any business value to you at all. So, like, using them at all is really difficult. Using them effectively is extremely difficult. And a lot of enterprises are struggling with this right now. And that's where Elastic comes in. So they're a big project. They've been blowing up in the last probably 4 years-ish. I feel shit posting notifications in my pocket. That's great. All right. OK. So sorry about that. Yeah, they've been blowing up for a few years. Their whole idea is that you can aggregate logs, index them, and search them really quickly, really rapidly, and do all kinds of fun stuff with them. So they have a lot of tools out. Every day, pretty much, they're buying other projects and just open sourcing them. We're only going to talk about 3 of them today. Those are their main 3, I guess. The Elastic Stack. That's Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. And that stack is just kind of how you are going to ingest logs, process them and index them. And then Kibana is a nice front end, so you can look at your stuff, make fun visualizations, that sort of thing. So this is like just an example of Kibana, right? Where before we had all that ugly text, now we have graphs, cyber, in a picture. It also has, like, you can obviously search through text logs and all that kind of stuff. But so once we have those logs, right, it's still just a log platform. They're still just sitting there. We still have to do something about it. So ElastAlert is a great tool. It's by Yelp. It's open source. It's all Python. And it allows you to build rules and build alerts. And you can create custom functionality to do things when certain log events happen, right? So this is a super useful just for, like, a DevOps, say. Maybe it's like, oh, I need to go turn my web server back on if it's off or something like that. But also, like, security. So a large portion of what I did this summer was kind of building a SIEM, like building security alerting based on Elastic events that are happening. You can call out to anything you can imagine that you can do with Python, right? You can be doing automated triaging and incident response. And maybe so, like, instead of an analyst having to go in and just collect a bunch of data every time, maybe we just drop that right into their inbox, like, right when the event happens. So there's so many use cases out there for this whole stack. And today we're just going to be talking about one of them. Oh, I was supposed to skip earlier. OK. Well, yeah, so basically we're like a DevOps. Now he can be, oh, my server's 500 in? Great, now I'm going to get a push notification instead of, like, having to go look at some, I don't know, like, go into the server yourself. Instead of having an issue be reported and then you investigate, this is just going to tell you. So that's really useful. So how we use it in the context, it's pretty, well, it was an older idea. We just didn't have it implemented in our new infrastructure. So alerting on red team events is something that's pretty important to us. We collect so much data. Like, it's passwords, beacons, all these things are being shoved into this one Elasticsearch index because we do indexing terribly. So doing it, like, the problem all enterprises have, we don't really do anything useful with that information. No one's staring at Kibana during a competition is because that's so pointless. So the dashboards are useful, right? They can give you a quick glance. But if I want, like, real live information, then ElastAlert is going to be really useful for that. So let's just say the use case of, like, I want to know when someone changes their password, right? We're always having passwords flooded into Elastic. So if we can look at those and be updated when they change, that's going to be really useful to us. So, like, rather than just looking at Elastic the whole time, now we can have that, like, send notifications to Slack. I'll dive into why Slack later, but I love Facebook. I love our sponsors. You can talk to me off stream about why it's Slack. Everyone pray to the demo gods for me that my Elastic instance doesn't run out of RAM. All right, so got a few things open. So here is, like, This is actually the box that's running Elastic, and ElastAlert is going to be running on this box too. That's just because I don't want to spin up a bunch of AWS instances. What's beautiful about ElastAlert, actually, we can look at some code first, is that you can do it all like remotely. Like ElastAlert is remotely connecting out to your instance. And so if you are worried about processing power or anything like that, like you can separate this all off and do it separately. So basically, this is just like a rule configuration. I wrote a couple custom rules. And all you have to do is like pass these values off. This means that these fields from Elastic are going to be available to us in Python. So then like, it's going to look pretty bad, but it's all right. This is a rule, right? Like, this is a pretty ugly one, but it's a Python class. It's 50 lines. It's like, they're so easy to write. It's really intuitive. Their documentation's great. Anyone who's at all interested in this, I would really suggest to look into it, because it's not at all hard to pick up. Like, this whole thing is just done yesterday. Alerts, same type of thing, where it's like, it's a single Python class. Yep, 30-something lines, and I take data and I send it to Slack. It's so, where are we? All right. So yeah, yeah, that's how we do it. Okay. So when it spins up, this one rule loaded. That's because I only imported my one rule. They have a bunch of them that ship by default. I just don't really care about any of those. Not really useful for the demo. So let's say we've got this piece of malware. One sec here. Cool. All right. All right. So like, let's say we scraped a password. All right, cool. Like this, so that's like somebody's host box is doing that. Okay, oh wow, that was really fast. Okay, so it goes every minute is what I have it configured at, because it's a demo. You can make it slower, faster, whatever you want for your infrastructure. So we see this, I don't even know if that's at all readable. This bottom part right here, we loaded my new password rule, and yeah, there was one match and one alert sent. So now we slide over here to this beautiful Slack channel. Oh, cool, and now like we have this alert. So like I could have gotten a push notification on my phone in the middle of the competition. Yeah, we're already at the end. That was great. So it's a great tool, right? Because it allows pretty much anyone. Like, you don't need a lot of DevOps experience to write a Python class, right? It's making it really easy to manage your logs better. I think this is really important, just because a lot of what people are doing out on co-op right now is Elastic for some reason. It's the flavor of the month, flavor of the year. Last summer, a few of us were just at lunch, and we realized, like, from different companies, different projects, different sectors even, and we all, oh yeah, I'm working on Elastic. Oh, I'm working on Elastic too. And it's something that, like, not to fault the department, is never even been mentioned in a classroom probably. And it's a really important tool, I think, that people start getting themselves familiar with. There's a ton of great documentation out there. Yeah, so there's like, their Elastic blog is really good. They post new stuff all the time. And their like troubleshooting documentation, like their forums are overflowing, right? Any issue you have, someone else has probably had it. All right, we're gonna move on. Okay. Yeah, and so this is the last note, as Ian mentioned earlier. My last presentation. Yeah, I'm moving down to the DC area, so I love you all. I just want to give a big thank you to this community. It's been a huge part of my life, and everyone has been really awesome. I love you all. And some of you are just all right, but a lot of you guys are great. So, thank you. Okay, cool. Are there any questions about Elastic, ElastAlert, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness? John? No. Actually, yeah, I'm probably gonna be back for ISDS in like a month, but whatever. And ShmooCon and all that.